Hello everyone, it's Cassidy and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a fun one. I am going to be doing a mini readathon using the mini Star Hop board. This is from Stephanie from Stephanie's Bookverse. I will link her channel below. Her monthly TBR is the normal Star Hop TBR game. I love that one. I watch it every single month. It can be a really mean game to her, but she also has a mini version which she does usually in a 48-hour readathon. She does it quite often, so again, I'll leave her channel link down below. I will link whatever is the most recent one when I post this. So I'm going to be doing the mini one. I will put a picture of the board here. I'm going to do the mini version, but I'm not going to be doing it in 48 hours. I'm going to be giving myself, I'm hoping it'll take me not too long, but I'm not going to give myself the time constraint of 48 hours. Today is a Tuesday. I'm about to go to work and I want to pick my first book so I can hopefully listen to it at work. We shall see. I have so many books from the library right now and they all come in at once. I know you guys know the struggle. Every single thing comes in at once, so I have so many holds from the library that I need to get through, so I'd love to prioritize some of those, but I also have a couple books left on my April TBR that I need to finish, so those ones would be great as well. The game is pretty simple. This is the board. Sorry about the glare. There are star, moon, and sun prompts. Each one that you land on will have different prompts on a spinner wheel, and I kept the prompts on there pretty similar to Stephanie's, but I changed it up to fit my reading a little bit more. And then the black holes will send you back to the beginning, so hopefully I don't hit any of those, but let's go into my first roll. Hopefully it's not too mean to me, but let's see what I'm doing first. A 1. Okay, we're not moving very fast or very far. Stars are really nice prompts, so I'm not mad about that. Okay, so we're off to a very slow start, but we got the first star prompt. So I'm gonna pull up my star wheel. This is exactly why I don't want to just do 48 hours. So on here I have series, audiobook, free pick, 5-star prediction, beautiful, romance, and mystery thriller, and less than 300 pages. I think I said them all. The star prompts are the easiest, so this is really nice. So let's see what I end up getting. Sorry about the glare. I can't tell what it's landing on. Less than 300 pages. That's actually really nice, but I think that's the one prompt I didn't want, because I have a certain book I want to read at work today or listen to at work today, and it's over 300 pages. I have 2 more audiobooks that I could read for this that I have on hold for the library, so this actually works out. My 2 options are The Wild Robot by Peter Brown. This is a middle grade that I've just heard really good things about, and I do want to watch the movie. And there was a skip the line hold on it, and I just figured why not, and it's a 4-hour audiobook, so it would take me less than 2 hours. And then the other one is Harriet Tubman Live in Concert by Bob the Drag Queen. I literally had the shirt on earlier. I should have kept it from when I saw Bob, when Bob did a live comedy show where I live. One of my favorite drag queens wrote a book, a fiction book. It's also only 4 hours, so I will be able to read that very quickly during my shift. So I'm actually going to pick a second book as well, because I'll be able to start a second one. So there we go, another one. So a moon prompt this time. Again, not moving along very much, but we'll get there eventually. There are 12 spots on here that aren't black holes, so we could be reading a lot. So we have hardcover, free pick, monthly TBR, over 400 pages, pull pick, standalone, Kindle. Did I say hardcover already? Probably. So why does this one not have the volume on? Standalone or something else. I can't tell which one it's on. Hardcover. Dang, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I think really my only option is Made in Korea by Sarah Suk right now, because I need to read this somewhat soon. It's in my pile of like priority books. I have the audiobook for it, but I also own it because I wanted to stretch this, but I'm not gonna stretch it too much. The one book that I wanted to read today, or I was gonna read today, I only have 2 days left on my hold from the library, and it's new, so it's only out in hardcover, so I was gonna do that, Twist the Prompt, but I don't own it, so I don't know. I'm just gonna go with this one. I do need to read it, and I do have the audiobook so I can listen to it at work, because those were my requirements. This one's like a Shark Tank-esque teen contemporary romancy book. They're kind of competing beauty businesses, Valerie and Wes, and they have their own reasons for wanting to be the best at it. Like they both need to make money, I think, for certain reasons. And they're trying to outsell each other. But there's an undeniable spark cracking up between them. I got this a long time ago and I need to get it off my TBR anyway. So this works out. It's just I'm gonna have to figure out how I can read that other book tomorrow. I'm really gonna have to squish that other book into a different prompt. But those will be the 2 books that I start. And well, either Wild Robot or the Harriet Tubman one, and then for sure this one. So I will come to you guys after work and let you know what I got done. So I finished the first book. I ended up reading the Harriet Tubman Live in Concert, I think was the full title, by Bob the Drag Queen. The reason I ended up picking that one is because I thought Wild Robot, I think people say they cried during the movie. I was at work, so I didn't want to cry while reading it. But I ended up really enjoying this. I don't know what I'm going to rate it yet, because I feel like it's either 4 or 5 stars. I don't really have anything wrong with it to not give it 5 stars, but I'm not sure if it feels like a 5-star rating for me. You know what I mean? So this one, we follow Harriet Tubman is alive again, and I think a few other really important figures from history are as well. She has this band of all these important people from her life as well, like her brother. Harriet Tubman wants to put on kind of a Hamilton-esque Broadway show about her life after she and some other important figures from history have magically come to life, or back to life. So she has 4 people that she led to freedom as well that are with her. They call up Darnell, our main character who narrates the book, to help make this Broadway, I don't know if it's actually on Broadway, but Broadway-esque musical of her life. So they're writing music, and Darnell is a really successful Grammy-winning producer. At least in the past, the last 10 years have been really hard for him because he was outed by someone that he was working with. He's still struggling with that and is faced with that. I read it within I think it took an hour and a half to listen to it, and Bob does do the narration for the audiobook, which was really, really good, and I loved reading it that way, and I'm glad I read it that way. The way Bob wrote it and read it, you could tell that he wrote it, you know what I mean? I listened to Sibling Rivalry with Monet and Bob all the time, and you could just tell by the way Bob talks on there. It's very similar. So I'll either give that one 4 or 5 stars. And then I did make a good chunk into Made in Korea, but I didn't listen to it for the last hour and a half of my shift. I listened to it for probably 2 hours, but then I went on my break, and then for the last hour I ended up listening to a true crime podcast because I wanted well, because I wanted to. Maybe finish that tonight, or I'll finish it at work tomorrow. We shall see. But I'm making good progress, even though I'm not making good progress on the board. Hello, it is the next day. I have a couple minutes and then I need to go to work. I haven't finished Made in Korea yet. I did not do a thing last night, so unproductive. But I'll easily finish that while I'm at work today. So I wanted to do another roll to see what I'll be reading after that. So let's go do that. So we just don't want a 4. 6. Oh, that makes up for the last 2 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So another moon prompt. It's the same options as the last time. Kindle, hardcover, free pick, monthly TBR, more than 400 pages, pull pick, and standalone. So let's see what I get. Please, please, please. It was so close to free pick, but we got hardcover again. Okay, we know I struggled with this yesterday, and so since I am in a rush to go to work, I can't go grab the books, but I have 3 options, and I will show you whatever one I pick that I do own it in hardcover. I'm thinking either A Dark and Hollow Star by Ashley Shuttleworth, These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, or Girls Like Us, I think it is, by Randy Pink. I have all of those on Everand already downloaded and ready to go, so I will pick one of those, but I actually don't think I'm going to read any of them today because I need to read that one that I have on hold for the library because it expires tomorrow. Okay, guys, so it is Thursday now, not that it really matters for this video, but I did finish Made in Korea yesterday. I enjoyed this one. I can't remember if I told you guys what this one's about. 2 competing K-beauty businesses at a high school. We have Wes, who wants to make the money to apply to music school because he knows that his parents aren't going to approve of this, so they're not going to pay for any of that, and that's his dream. And then Valerie, who has had this business for a few years, whereas Wes is the new kid at school. Valerie wants to take her grandma on a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Paris. That's super important and sentimental to her, so neither of them want to back down. But then it's kind of like a rivals to lovers romance as well, with and kind of just also understanding the pressures of family and parents in their lives. So I enjoyed this one. It wasn't my favorite, but I didn't really have like 5-star expectations going into this one. It's probably about like a 3.5-star rating. I'm glad I finally got to it, as it's been on my TBR for so long. And then I decided I will be picking up These Violent Delights. I just think this one will be an interesting one for the video. And also A Dark and Hollow Star. I have them on Scribd, and apparently I hit my limit for certain books this month, and so I can't even listen to A Dark and Hollow Star, but I can still listen to this one. So I will be listening to this one for the next hardcover prompt of this vlog. So I wanted to let you know what I'll be reading, and I haven't started it yet, but I'm hoping to make a good ways into this one. This is another book I've had on my TBR for quite a while. I want to say pretty similar amount of time as this, probably 3 to 4 years. So this one is a fantasy Romeo and Juliet retelling. I recently listened to the first chapter for a try chapter tag video. I will link that down below because that's already uploaded, and I actually really was interested in the first chapter. Wanted to give you an update, and hopefully I just want to do another roll, but I haven't even started the book, so there's no reason to do another roll quite yet. Okay, hello guys. I probably sound raspy. I feel like I still have my sleeping voice even though it's almost 11 a.m. I have like 2 hours and 40 minutes-ish left listening to These Violent Delights. It's okay so far. I'm not loving it. I think part of it is I'll zone out because I'm not loving it, and then I'll miss something, and then I'm like, it's not helping me enjoy it anymore because I'm probably missing stuff. But it's not awful. I'm just not super intrigued. But since I only have that amount left, and I'll probably listen to it a bit more before I go to work, I wanted to roll for my next book so I can start it while I'm at work. Let's see what I get. Okay, I finished on this moon prompt. 5. Oh my gosh, that's so nice actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The star prompt passed the second black hole. This game was actually pretty nice to me. Even though I started out with 2 1s, the rest of it has been nice. So even if I get a 1 the next one, I'm not mad. For the star prompts, again, we have 5-star prediction, free pick, audiobook series less than 300 pages, mystery, thriller, romance, and beautiful. Let's see what this gets us. I think all of them are actually pretty nice, so I'm not mad about anything. And I actually was gonna say I think I want romance because I have a specific book in my head that's called Manifestation without even saying it out loud. Caught Up by Liz Tom Forty. I always thought it was Tom Ford, but the audiobooks say Tom Forty, so this is a series of sports romance. This is the 3rd one in the series. They're all standalone. Like in the second book, the first couple gets mentioned again, so that's the big spoiler, but it's a romance book, so you know they're gonna end up together. But this is a baseball romance, which I've never read a baseball romance. We're following Kai, who is a single dad and the starting pitcher for Chicago's MLB team, and he kind of we meet him in, I want to say we meet him in the first book, but he's definitely in the second book as well. And he doesn't know he has a son, and all of a sudden the girl drops this kid off. So he's a single dad now, and he doesn't want help raising his son, but he needs a nanny because he is in the MLB, and so he needs someone that will follow him around and bring his kid across the country as he plays. And then our female main character is Miller Montgomery, who is the coach's daughter. She's also a successful, I want to say, pastry chef with a new title. There's new pressure, and I can't create a fresh and inspiring dessert to save my life. With only 2 months to get back on track, I should be focusing on the kitchen, but instead I let my dad talk me into using my time off to nanny for his star player's kid. I think she's a little bit younger, a little bit wanting to have more fun, where he's a little bit more serious. She is planning to leave Chicago after this summer, this 2 months of him being his nanny. So there's just a million reasons that they should not get together, but it's inevitable. I really love this series. The first one, it's the Windy City series. The first one's Mile High. It's a hockey romance. Second one is Right Move. It's a basketball romance. And then baseball. I think the next one's baseball as well. And then the final one comes out in May, and I think it's back to hockey. So I love this series. This is the first one though in this series that I will not have the audiobook. So this one actually will be a physical read, so I'm not gonna pick it up once I get to work, which is fine, but this is a big priority for me anyway. I'm hoping I love this one as much as the first two, because I love those, and I think this one and the next, well, I think it's really debated what your favorite is. Like, all of them have really strong followings of who their favorite guy is, but I know a lot of people really like Kai, so I am excited for this, and I will probably start it pretty much right when I get home from work. That gives me more motivation to finish these Violent Delights because I'm really excited about that one. Hello guys. So I finished these Violent Delights at work today. I don't know why, I just didn't really enjoy this one at all, and I'm not really much of a DNFer, but this one did make me consider it. Again, I don't know if it was the book, if it was me, or what. Like, I found it pretty boring. Like, I wanted to find out what was happening, but at certain points there was way too many characters. I couldn't remember who everyone was. It just felt maybe like a little too convoluted. I love this cover, so I kind of want to just keep this because of the cover, and I probably will for now, but I think it'll be something that I would unhaul in the future once I need space on my bookshelves. This should be one that I'll be fine getting rid of in the future, but I don't know, I just had no attachment to it. I just had no, didn't have a bunch of need to continue on, and so I don't think I will read the second book in this series or any of the books in like the connected series. There's so many books out there that I just can't see me spending my time on that. And it was kind of a cliffhanger at the end, but not cliffhangery enough that I need to find out ASAP, you know? I don't even continue on in series that I love right away, so I'm not going to continue on with this one right away. And it was a really interesting idea, and I liked that it was in Shanghai in 1926. I liked that. Everything was really interesting. Or did I even tell you guys what this one's about? I think I told you it was a Romeo and Juliet retelling in 1926 Shanghai, where it's two rival gangs. Juliet and Roma are in their own gangs, and their parents are the leaders of these gangs, so they can't be together, but they had kind of a romance when they were 14, 15-ish. That ended in disaster. Juliet left and went to school, I think, in the States, or she lived in the States before that, I can't remember. And now she has come back trying to prove herself in this gang, and a sickness or something is going through Shanghai where people that are infected claw out their own throats. So all of that sounds really good. I just don't know that I loved the execution of it all. There was parts that I was confused, not just who characters were, but also what was happening. And I don't know, again, if it was because I was zoning out, or like if it was just like too much. I was zoning out because I wasn't super interested, so I don't know. This was okay. Wasn't for me, but I'm glad I finally got it off of my TBR. So one more book off of there, and one more book done in this video. So I'm gonna give that one it's probably like a 2.5. Like 2.5, because I feel so in the middle of that about that book. Like, I don't know. That's all. No thoughts. Head empty, you know? So, whatever. Now I'm gonna move on to Caught Up, and hopefully I love it. I need a win. I feel like I'm not loving books right now. I already forget what I've read in this. I think I've been doing this challenge for a week, and I'm still not done Caught Up by Liz Tomforty. I don't know, I haven't had the mental capacity to physically read very much in a day, but I will finish it today. I'm on page 329, and there's 394 something pages, 92. So I have like 60 pages left. I'll finish this today, but I'm going to work, and I would like to pick my audiobook for work and maybe possibly finish this challenge today, depending on what I roll. So let's go into my last roll, hopefully. If I get a 1, it's not my last roll, so let's see. If I get anything over a 1, we'll be good. So I believe that's where I left off. Okay, good. So now I get to do a free pick. I'm gonna do a hold that I have from the library for this one. I have to finish another book that I have a hold on first today, so I'll finish that and then start this one. But I'm gonna go with, I have 2 copies of it. I'm gonna go with This Book Will Bury Me. The reason I have 2 copies is because I used to work at a bookstore, And like this Ashley Winstead is one of my favorite authors, and my coworkers knew that. So like a week after I left, or probably less than that, the ARC came into the store. So they were like, do you want it? It's like, obviously. But I'm glad I have this because I don't know how this happened, and I don't know if it was me or if it came this way. I wish I would have noticed. I do have a rip in my cover, so that is disappointing. I think it's a girl who loses her dad, the unexpected death of her father. She tries to distract herself from grief and becomes obsessed with the morbid world of true crime, befriending armchair detectives who teach her how to hunt killers from afar. In this dark internet underground, Jane finds friendships, purpose, and even glory. I'm just gonna read that much, and we'll let the rest of it be a surprise. I love Ashley Winstead, but her last book, Midnight is the Darkest Hour, was such a disappointment for me, so I really hope I enjoy this one. I loved In My Dreams I Hold a Knife and The Last Housewife, so hopefully we go back to that vibe and my feeling for that. And that's a really good one to end this video off on, I think, because I have such high expectations for it. I don't know if I've really said much about this, but I am loving it. It is so good. I just don't have the mental capacity to read for more than an hour, or I have lots of stuff going on. So this, physically reading this only has slowed me down, but I think I'm enjoying it more because I'm physically reading it, if that makes sense. I'm not zoning out at all, and I'm not missing anything by just listening to the audiobook. I'm loving this. So I'll finish this today, maybe finish this today as well. We'll have to see how much I get done at work, and then if I have a bit left, I'll finish it when I get home. Hello guys, I hate to break it to you, I did forget to come and update you at the end of this vlog, because I did finish both of these books on Friday. I was watching Stephanie's new May TBR video, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to finish the vlog, but that's right, I finished both of these, so let's round up this one. I gave it 5 stars. I adore this one. Kai is my new favorite book boyfriend. He's my favorite guy in the series so far, which I've liked the other 2 as well, but he just rose above somehow, and I thought this was a really cute romance. I think this is the first single dad romance I've ever read. I think. I know I have more on my TBR, or I think honestly the first single parent romance that I've read. But I really liked that aspect. It was really cute. I wasn't sure how I would feel about it, but I loved it. This was just top tier. Probably gonna be one of my favorite books of the year. You already knew I was liking that one. But then I read this book, Will Bury Me, which is so annoying. So this one we follow our main character, Jane Sharp, and she is facing the sudden loss of her father, like completely out of nowhere. She comes back from college to deal with that, and in her grief, she finds herself in this like true crime forum, and she starts seeing the same people on there over and over, and she's kind of helping solve cases, or she wants to at least. And so are all these other people, and there's a few that she starts to gain a friendship with, and they teach her the ways a little bit more. Suddenly there is this national news murder of some college students from Delphine. Her and her friends jump on this case and are trying to solve it, or help solve it. Told 1 year after the astounding events that concluded the case and left the world reeling, Jane's searing confession of what really happened during the Delphine massacres, including details that change everything the world thinks it knows, will either save her from being misjudged by history or her final undoing. So yeah, this is told kind of like somewhat like a memoir or biography by Jane, because she'll be like, despite what this person said, blah blah blah, I actually did this next, or whatever. Like, so that part was interesting. I liked the armchair detective sleuth kind of thing, the forum, all of that, the found family with these people that she met on there. And I am very interested in true crime, so I liked all of those aspects. However, when I pre-ordered this, because I love Ashley Winstead, so I just pre-order her stuff. When I pre-ordered this, I did not know that it was going to be so based on the Idaho 4 real case. I had seen someone read it before I did, and they said something about Idaho 4 in their review, but I was trying not to read any reviews before I read it. And so I knew a tiny bit that there was maybe a similarity going into this. A lot of that case is copied and pasted into this. It expands on it, but there are so many similarities and like just facts from the Idaho 4 case in this book and made to be the main crime of this book. And I didn't really like that because it just feels icky to me, because it hasn't gone to court yet. No one is actually technically convicted of that. And for it to be so similar is weird to me. I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. I did a review for it on Goodreads, so if you want to read that, but I get that you would get maybe some inspiration, and a lot of mystery thrillers probably have inspiration from true crime cases. But that's inspiration, and they change so much of it. It develops from that small part of an idea into like a whole different thing. This is that case for a good chunk of this book. It is facts. So I'm trying to think of something that won't spoil it, but if you know the case, it doesn't really spoil it because you just know that that's what it's based on. But in the Idaho 4 case, 2 of the girls went to a food truck that night and are seen on camera from that. That happens in here. There's a girl named Maddie. I think there's parts in here that are talking about one of their families that are very similar to the family of one of the victims. So I don't know. I just didn't like that, and I think I said this in my wrap-up, I said this in my review. If I was related or connected to any of the victims of this case, or is connected to it in any way, I think I would be upset by this book and the way it tries to like fictionalize, I don't know if that's a word, but like that, and kind of take away from that real life case here. And I don't think Ashley Winstead did that on purpose, and I don't think she did anything that was, or said anything that was rude about the victims or their family or anything like that that comes to mind or that I noticed while reading it. But I think just the idea in itself is kind of icky. And so if she wanted to write a book with a character like Brian Koberger and disgusting, and she wanted to use a weirdo man like that as like whatever, because there is a character like that in here, which is not a spoiler in my opinion, she could have, because there are a lot of awful people like that in the world, and it doesn't have to be just because of him, but because there was a character like that, and because there was those murders, and because there was all these other tiny little details that were the same, it was all too much, and it wasn't just inspired by, it was like a copy of it. So I'm really disappointed, because I love In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, one of my favorite books. I really liked The Last Housewife by her as well. I didn't like her last book, The Midnight is the Darkest Hour, and like I said, I think I could have liked this one without that. If the crime was different, I liked the other aspects of this book, but if the crime was different, I would really like it, but the crime was not different. I mean, it eventually has offsprings of it that's different, but a good chunk of it is the same. that it makes me feel icky. So I did not rate this one, and I'm not gonna rate it because I just don't think in any way I can give it, like, I don't know how I could rate it. I don't know. I had a lot of fun doing the mini Star Hop readathon for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll definitely do it again in the future, and I got lots of reading done, so that's even better. Next time I probably will try and do the 48 hours, but for this time not being under a time crunch was best, but next time I'm gonna challenge myself. So if you want to see that, make sure to stick around and subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Again, check out Stephanie's channel. If somehow you've never seen her channel in general or the TBR Star Hop, definitely go do that. If you've read or liked any of the books I mentioned in this video, make sure to let me know down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!